I am so excited. I'm so excited for you guys to be tuning in with me today as we are doing our four-part series on stopping the drama. It's time to level up. This is all about you getting to just say, hey, this time is about me doing what I need to do for me. Because how many of us know that we're always pouring into everybody, and now is your time to say, you know what? I cannot pour into anyone unless I make sure that my cup is full. Then I have something to give. Okay. I have some tea to give. Now we're not talking about drama here. We're talking about the tea that you have to give because you have leveled up and you know that it is time for you to just walk in that season of your life where you are elevating and you are being truly authentic. Okay. So, being able to do the things that you need that bring you joy, peace, happiness, because this is your time. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in with me. Stop the drama. It is time to level up where you are filling up your cup with tea so you can pour some tea. And remember, we're not talking about drama, but we are talking about time, being intentional with your time. We're talking about elevating you to the next level, and we are talking about truly being authentic. And what more can you ask for when you think about that type of tea? If someone doesn't want you to be intentional with your time, to elevate yourself and to be authentic, then they don't need to be around you. Period. Okay. Period. But a little bit about myself. I am Brittany Petty. I'm a mental health therapist. I'm a life coach. I'm a podcaster. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I am a mom of four. Not to mention, I'm also an international keynote speaker. So you have tuned in to the right place, you at the right time. Okay. And one thing that I find joy in is being able to help empower mompreneurs to maximize their wealth while they are also prioritizing their mental health so they can build more meaningful relationships with themselves and others. And that is just one thing that I've learned throughout life is that we have to make sure that we are pouring and building up others because a lot of times you'll meet people and they want you to just build them up, but the thing is, whatever you want, you have to be willing to give that. And so life is about being able to help others, and that's why I enjoy helping moms who are entrepreneurs because I understand the struggle. It's hard. It is hard managing everything, especially if you have a full-time job, you're running a business, taking care of home, you're doing all these things. You're also trying to be, a great daughter to your parents and your siblings, and just you wear so many hats. Not to mention when you step foot into work, everybody's always needing you and these different things. And so a lot of times the only time you get is that time that you lay down at night and you're like, wow, this is the only time I can actually think and collect my thoughts for the day. And so that is why I'm excited for us to be together and just really focus on stopping the drama because life is filled with so much drama, but we have a choice. We have the power to decide what it is that we are going to allow into our day-to-day activities and what we do. We have the power to decide what we're going to allow into our mental, and so it's just important for us to be able to understand that. So today's specific lesson is going to be about the ABCs of self-love. Focus to level up. I love that. And I'm going to put some emphasis on focus because if you're not focused on anything in your life, you're not going to accomplish anything. That is one thing a lot of my clients, they come to me and it really is about focusing, looking at your time, where are you spending your time? And from there, taking the time to focus so you can achieve your goals. So yes, you have all these different demands. You're pulled here, you're pulled there. You have to do this, you have to do that. But your focus is making sure that you write down, 2 to 3 things that you have to get done every single day and making sure you do that. Because like we talk about in a lot of our sessions, is if we keep doing the same thing every day, we're going to keep getting those same results. So I'm challenging you to make sure that you push yourself to excel, to be the best version of yourself so you can be great. Okay, so I have this quote here. It's by Mandy Hale. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her or not, But she says it's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It is necessary. I love it. I'm going to read that again. It's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and to make your happiness a priority. It is necessary. And so, for some reason, we have gotten mixed up thinking that, oh, that's selfish if I am taking care of me. But everybody else is taking care of themselves. And what I'm seeing so many times, whether it's my caretakers or it's my moms, or I have some fathers too, I have, so many different people that come to me and they are depleted. And so the key is for us to know before we get to depletion, what are those signs? What is it that we have told ourselves that have made us get to a place that we believe that when we get up, every day is about taking care of everybody else but you? Because that is false. Because you cannot take care of yourself. I know that. I've been there. You cannot take care of yourself in those spaces of depletion. Like I use the analogy all the time. It's like having a burning pot, an empty pot on the stove. What's going to happen to it? If you have that empty pot on the stove, no water in it, it's just burning. Eventually, something's going to happen. You're going to burn down the whole house because now your attitude is bad. You don't have enough sleep. You haven't taken care of you. You're not any good to anybody. You're snapping at people because you haven't taken the time to see what is it that you need. And I want you guys to know that you're not alone. I struggle with this from time to time. You're not alone. And that's the beauty of life, is us being able to work together, help each other, have that community to say, hey, did you get enough sleep? Did you take care of yourself? Did you take your vitamins today? Did you work out today? Whatever that community is that you know that you need, that's what's important. Because a lot of times people don't realize that you need a community. Life is not meant to be done by yourself. It's just not. Okay? And so that's why it's important for us to make sure that we take the time to do exactly what we need to do for ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hop into our lesson because like we said, in life we have learned and we realize that when we don't prioritize ourselves, it shows. When we don't connect ourselves, do the internal work to see where we rooted, what really matters the most to us, it shows. And, one thing I have learned as I have dived deeper and deeper into my spiritual journey is that if I am not prioritizing God and loving God properly, then I cannot love myself or love others properly. And so everybody has their own journey of things that they will learn and that they'll realize, but there's some things that just don't have the explanation to it. Like you taking your own journey to realize the things that matter most to you in your life. Maybe you would come up with the same thing or you might come up with something different, but that to each is their own. That is just something that I have realized. And so the sooner or later you realize that, okay, I know what is most valuable to me in my life, then you will begin to look and see things differently and cherish life on a different level and aspect. And that to me is priceless. When you can be appreciative and content where you are, knowing that you are striving for greater, but understanding that this is all a part of the journey, and appreciating and smiling, finding yourself in the eye of the storm, in the midst of chaos, being able to stand still and to be able to be happy and find joy and peace. That is where you know that you are good. And it's to say, hey, everybody has their own journey to get there. It could take some people years to get there. But when you get there, you'll know it and you'll be filled with so much joy. And so make sure, before we dive into our lesson, make sure that you guys take advantage of a great offer that's being offered to you guys. It's $99. It's the Essence of True Self-Love. It comes with candles, spray, an empowerment workbook for you to work on yourself, juicing recipes, and 1 month access to the Sugar Detox Challenge. And so this is really about you taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. You cannot beat it. This is an amazing, amazing offer. I'm super excited about it because not only do you get something tangible to jumpstart your self-care, but you also get to work on yourself internally, making sure you're putting healthy things in your body, making sure you're getting rid of that sugar detox or getting rid of that sugar in your body, because everything we eat just about has sugar. So we have to be intentional to make sure that we're eating those fruits and those vegetables and things that we need for us. So make sure you take advantage of that offer. The link will definitely be posted for you. So please, please, please take advantage of that offer. That is something that's going to be amazing to help you to jumpstart your self-care, self-love journey. So, as we get ready to hop in and talk about the ABCs of self-love, I know you might be wondering, what are the ABCs of self-love? Well, the A is for being truly authentic, okay? So I want you guys to make sure that you're following along with me. A, authenticity. What does it mean for you to be truly authentic, okay? And so authenticity for many is where you are not hiding behind that mask. You're no longer hiding behind the mask of saying, hey, this is who I am. You know, it's no different from you waking up and just presenting that version of yourself to the world because this is how I feel today. But truly, please don't do that, right? We want to make sure people brush their teeth, wash their face, right? But the reality of it is you presenting yourself in exactly how you are and allowing people to say, hey, either you're going to take that, accept me for who I am, or you're going to continue to do the things that you do. And so each has their own. People don't have to accept you, and that's okay. And the key is being okay with where you are. So when you are being authentic, when we talk about authenticity, it's allowing you to own yourself, dig below the surface, own everything about you. That way, when people try to confront you with this, that, and the other, it doesn't even bother you, don't even affect you because you've owned it. And what I've seen so many times with my clients is that, you know, people might say something or do something and it hurts so bad. And you know, the reason why it hurts because you haven't owned it. And that's the truth. And that's why sessions are so powerful on so many levels because it helps you to walk in your truth. It helps you to own it. And when you can own your truth and walk and know, like, okay, hey, I am good. Like, I don't care what people say because those things that happened in your past, they make you who you are today. And one thing that a lot of people fail to realize is those are the people that God used the most in the Bible, whether it was, we take the prostitute, or just different people in the Bible who, you know, the world's eyes, the world's view is like, okay, severely messed up. But this is the one that God utilized to use to be able to be a change maker, to do things. And so it's just important to know that being focused is about you. Understanding that you are in your lane. You're not comparing yourself to anybody else. You're not looking to the left. You're not looking to the right. You are focused on yourself and getting to the next level. And so this is what that's for. And in order to do that, you have to be authentic. You have to say, you know what? I am going to walk in my true authenticity, meaning I'm going to be real. And in order for you to walk into true authenticity, in order for you to be real, in order for you to go to the next level, you have to be real with yourself and look at the good, the bad, the ugly. And know those are all pieces of your journey that had to happen to get you to where you are today. And so, yes, it's not pretty. It's ugly. It hurts. You might have wondered, why me? And as they tell you, and as you live life, you begin to learn that it's not the why me, it's the why not me. But that comes with you knowing that you have a greater calling upon your life. And so when you know that you have a greater calling on your life, you realize that I'm not going to allow what people say or what people try to throw in my face or do to stop me, because I know that I'm headed to somewhere so much greater. So what I want you to do is I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in and release it. Another deep breath in and release it. One more time, deep breath in and release it. And I want you to just really keep your eyes closed and visualize yourself. Your greatest, best possible self. What are you doing? Are you speaking on stages? Are you going inside of that classroom, changing lives? Are you helping the world to be a better place? Maybe one person at a time. Are you the world's greatest mom or wife or husband? What are you doing? When you truly, truly visualize yourself, what are you doing? It is in these moments, you can open your eyes now, but it is in these moments that you are able to say, I have something to live for. I have something to work towards. Because what happens to so many people is they don't realize what they have to work towards. They don't realize where they're going in life. And they just get up and they go about their day. They get up and they go about their day. They get up and they go about their day. But what's important here to understand is if you are getting up and going about your day and you're not doing anything different than the prior days, then how are you going to create change? How are you going to do that? Like so many people say, I don't want to keep working this job. I want generational wealth. Okay. But we get up every day, we go to work, we take care of the kids, we take care of the family, we do all these things, and we get into bed and we repeat that cycle over and over. Where is the piece that gets you to the generational wealth? Because we keep coming to those jobs, we already know, and jobs are good. Jobs are needed, right? To get us from point A to point B. But they're designed to keep you to coming back. Many times when I used to work in multi-level marketing, they would always tell you that job stands for just over broke, paycheck to paycheck, to keep you coming back. Because if that job was to say, hey, your salary is $75,000 a year, your salary is $150,000 a year, and they were to pay you that money up front and say, okay, we need you to do all of this for the whole year, but we're going to go ahead and pay you up front. How many people would come back to that job? I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Now, some people would, because they're like, okay, I know that this was paid to me and I'm expected to do this X, Y, and Z. But some people would not do that. And so it's important to understand that and know that they are giving you what they feel that is worth based on the job that they expect for you to do. And so for you, if you really want something better, you have to push yourself and challenge yourself to do something different. Okay. So when we think about authenticity, I want you to think about, when was the last time you were truly authentic with yourself? Like, when was the last time somebody said, hey, how you doing? And you was like, honestly, not good. Like, not good. I got this going on. I got these teens running here, running rampant. This happened in my house. Work is about to go crazy. I got all these deadlines to me. When was the last time you were completely honest instead of being like, you know what, good, they're good? Or your friend hit you up, how's that workout going? It's good. Why you eating that hamburger, right? And the french fries and the shake. It's really not, something's not adding up, right? I want these things, but I also have to make sure my mindset is in alignment with it. Or let me ask you this. When was the last time you said no? when you really need to say yes? Or vice versa. When was the last time you said yes when you really need to say no? And that's about putting boundaries in place. That's about you knowing that your opinions and your values, they truly, truly do matter. Because every time you continue to say yes when you really need to say no, you are saying that that other person's opinions and values are more important than your own. And the last time I checked, they are no different than you. None. And so, with that being said, you have to start to see yourself differently. And when you see yourself differently, you will respect your time. But it starts with you. How do you see yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you truly see? And when you look in that mirror and you say, this is what I truly see, this is what I truly desire to be, you will start to act like it, talk like it. The things that you desire, your mindset will start to shift. Those things that you desire, they'll start to come to you. But it starts with your mindset shift. It starts with believing in yourself, believing that you can have these things because you deserve it. You desire it. It's going to come, but it starts with you. So remember, A is authenticity. B is about boundaries, setting those boundaries that you need to set for yourself. Saying more yes when you need to say it and no when you need to say it. Understanding that your feelings are valid, being able to sit in that moment, but also saying, I'm going to set a clear boundary for myself. I'm going to do that. And it doesn't matter who gets mad. Boundaries are about you doing what you need to do. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody is not going to agree or abide by your boundary, and they don't have to. They don't have to. But the key is understanding that you have the power to set your boundary and keep your boundary. And if you don't set it and if you don't keep it, then people are going to keep walking all around it. It's like the fence. If you don't put it up, everyone will have free range with you. If you hold it up and you keep letting people knock it down and they keep coming onto your property, that's nobody's problem but yours because you are not enforcing it. You are not saying, look, this is my fence. Don't come by it. Don't come past it because this is my property that I pay for. And you don't owe anyone that explanation. Literally, if you're like, this is my fence, because this is my property, that's fine. But you have to ask yourself every time you allow someone to walk over your boundary, walk over you, what does this really say about yourself? And understand, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. But understand there is a lesson to be learned in every situation. Everything that you go through, there is a lesson that has to be learned. And so, what is it that you are hiding from? What is it from yourself that you are covering up, that you keep allowing yourself to keep saying yes, to keep piling up your plate? Are you hiding from the need to be loved a certain way and you're not being loved properly? Are you hiding from never dealing with the grief of a close loved one? There is something that a lot of us tend to cover up. And when we're covering up, it could be with lots of things. It could be covered up by saying yes, filling up your to-do list, doing all these tasks, makes yourself feel great because you're doing all these things for everybody but yourself. It could be working too much, working consistently. Because guess what? If I'm working, I don't have to worry about or think about those things that are going on in my life. So what is it about yourself that you are finding that you truly are hiding from? And once you do the work to understand that and realize that, you will feel a huge weight just lift off of your shoulders. And I'm saying they're going to lift off your shoulders because now you know what it is that you're hiding from and what you're covering it up with. And now you can do the work, because that goes to being authentically, right? Walking in your purpose, knowing that this is the real me. Remember, it's not pretty, but sometimes it's ugly. And sometimes it hurts so bad. And sometimes you're like, I just don't see the way out. But it is in those moments that you begin to realize, like, I can and I shall overcome anything I put my mind to. But it starts with you. So one thing I want you guys to do for your B section of boundaries is do a check-in with yourself. I want you to see, where is it that I need to set clear boundaries with myself, with my family, with my friends, with work, with my love life, with showing up to events. So maybe that could be with your social life. Where is it that I really need to set those boundaries, and make sure that you are setting those boundaries? Because remember, you have the power to create the life that you truly, truly desire. But what happens a lot of times, people don't realize that they have the power to create the life that they desire. They have the power to make sure that, no, you're not going to keep stepping over my boundaries. You have that power. But it starts with you. You have to realize that you actually have the power and stick with it. Okay. So that brings us to our C. So we have A, being authentic, B is our boundary, and C is clarity. And so when you think about clarity, you can't be focused if you don't have clarity. If you don't have a clear vision, you cannot be focused. And how many times have we jumped into something and we're like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Like, what's going on here? And it's not good. It did not have a good outcome because you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't have clarity. You didn't have peace about it. And one thing you learn in life is, if you don't feel peace about a situation, it's a no. You don't need to do it. If you do not have peace and clarity about something, it's a no. Don't do it. And so with this piece, it helps you to really, truly look at yourself and say, okay, where is it that I need clarity at? Where is it that I need to take action? And do it. Literally do it. That is the one thing that sets people back so far, because they don't apply the action. They don't sit down because they're so busy. They're not taking the time to sit down and realize, okay, what is it? And I'll be honest, a moment of transparency, I've been there, going. Like, the days are running together. I didn't know where I was going. I was coming. I'm here. I'm there. And I had to realize, like, I remember literally saying, like, Lord, I just want more peace in my life. I just want more peace. Like, literally, I'm the only counselor, 600 plus students. Today's time, not saying that back then it wasn't a lot, but that is a lot today's time, because not only are children needier, parents are needy. So you're counseling parents, you're counseling admin, because it's hard showing up every day for a classroom of students when students are used to having technology keeping their attention, but you have these teachers that they have to teach it, and they're struggling. How do I teach students that don't want to learn? And the reality of it is, they do want to learn. It's just, we have to think outside of the box. There's a different way to reach them. The way that worked back in the day, the sit and get it, the lecturing, that doesn't work today. And so that is a huge weight on top of, running a family and being an entrepreneur and doing all these different things and wanting to say yes when these great opportunities come, but realizing, like, no, I have to check myself. Like, can I show up and give 100% of myself? But I've learned that if I keep giving these things, right, if I keep turning down these opportunities, saying the time's not right, when will the time ever be right? And those are the moments that you have to quiet everything around you and say, what is it that really matters? What areas of my life can I get help? And what is it that really, really matters? And one thing I'll never forget, I remember, now this was years ago, listening to this lady, and she's like the number one like African American stock investment chick, like amazing. And like I remember her talking about, like, she was like, I don't cook, I don't clean. I was reminding you of Cardi B a little bit, but on a different aspect, because we're talking about financing and stocks and investments and stuff like that. But she was saying that to say that she doesn't waste her time with things that's not her, per se, her perfection. So those are things that she could be doing, time that she could be utilizing doing other things. So for example, cooking, she hires a chef because, like she says, that's time I could be investing into other things. When it comes to cleaning, like she says, I don't have time for that. So those are times that's taking away time from me learning my trade and learning how I can help others with stocks and investments. And so basically, I know the reality of it is a lot of people like, okay, a shelf that costs money, a maid that costs money, right? But it's about putting systems in place. What systems can you put in place with the resources that you already have or the people that you already know to help make those things and make your dream become a reality? And that is what it's truly about. So one thing I want you guys to do is, for clarity, I want you to write down these sentence stems, and I want you to take the time to fill those out. Okay. So I am, I need, I want, I believe, I know, I can, and I will. Okay, I'm going to repeat those again. These are your sentence stems for clarity when you are sitting there having that time to yourself, being intentional, that you fill in the blanks and you keep it somewhere where you can see it and you stay focused. But it says, I am, I need, I want, I believe, I know, I can, and I will. And if you stay focused and you know these things and you fill in these blanks and you say, you know what, this is my season to stay focused. This is my season to be authentic, set boundaries, seek clarity, you cannot help but go up. Okay. Increasing your wealth. But you cannot increase your wealth if you do not change your mindset. Because what good is it to increase your wealth and you still have the same mindset? Because if you knew everything you need to know now to be wealthy, then you would be wealthy. And so that's why we have to learn to change our mindset. Be open, have that growth mindset so we can be where we desire to be. So as we come to a close, I want you to make sure that you make a commitment to yourself that today and this day on, I will. Okay, your commitment to yourself is today and this day on, I will. And whatever that is, make that commitment to yourself. It could be, I will only accept joy in my life. I will no longer keep saying yes out of obligation. I am committed to take back everything that has cost me my ability to have peace. And so, whatever that is, I want you to make that commitment to yourself and put it somewhere, again, where you can see it daily and truly, truly take action. Because that's the difference between those who listen to this and those who actually take action. They will be in a different place this time next year because there's a difference from hearing something and doing the same old, and actually hearing something and applying to take action. And so remember, I want you guys to connect with me on an even further level. And I want you to make sure you take advantage of my amazing offer, okay, of starting the journey to true self-love, okay? So I want you to go get your candle, your spray, your workbook. your juicing recipes, and your 1 month access to Sugar Detox Challenge. And let's create a healthier you. Because if we can start to make sure that you are better mentally, physically, and spiritually, you can't help but go up from there. So again, I am so grateful and so glad for each of you guys who have tuned in with me today. Make sure you continue to do what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. And don't you ever forget that anything that you desire in life, you shall accomplish it. But it starts with you. It starts with you making that commitment to yourself, making that commitment to say, you know what, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to set boundaries, and I'm going to seek clarity with commitment, and I am going to be the best version of me. So thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure that you go and get your workbook, candle set, self-love set. Make sure that you go and get that today. The link is below. Bye-bye. Have a great day.